It began on an ordinary afternoon in downtown Salt Lake City, the kind of call officers have answered hundreds of times before. A man trespassing inside a salon. A disturbance that seemed irritating, not dangerous. But what unfolded next would become one of the most violent police encounters the department had faced in years.
Oh, he's leaving then?
He started walking back.
Okay, do you want to press charges or anything?
I don't know. He tried to grab one of my...
Hey, come over here for a second. No. Come over here. Hey, get away from the car. 211, will you step my back up? Hey, get over here. Hey! Come here. Hey! Sir!
When officers located the suspect, 50-year-old Michael Bruce Peterson, he wasn't hiding or running. Instead, he moved with a strange, unsettling intensity, out of place for a simple trespassing complaint. Witnesses later described him as incoherent, erratic, and unrecognizable from the man they knew.
Hey! Hey, come here. Just come talk to me for a minute, man.
No. Come on, can
Don't.
you get Bonnie?
Hey, stay right there.
Can you get Bonnie?
Get it. Sit down.
Bro, can you
Sit down.
Bonnie? Come on.
Sit down.
Fuck you there, man.
Hey, come here, man.
Officers tried to speak with him, to calm the situation before it escalated. But the quiet tension in Peterson's behavior was already telling a different story. Moments later, that tension snapped.
Hey! 211, I'm at Maverick now. 500 East, 300 South. Don't. Hey! Hey! Get out of the car!
Fuck your punk ass.
Ow! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Quit fucking around!
Get out of the car!
Fucking around, asshole! What do you want to be
211
right
taser
now, dude?
deployment.
Come on, drive me.
Get out and get on the ground.
Drive me, come
Get out
on,
and get on the
dude.
ground.
As Peterson tried to climb into a Jeep that wasn't his, officers attempted the least intrusive option, a taser. It was meant to stop him long enough to regain control of the situation. Instead, the exact opposite happened. The electricity hit, but rather than slowing down, Peterson exploded with raw adrenaline. The taser had no visible effect, and in an instant, the encounter turned violent.
Let's go, let's go.
Peterson came at the first officer with shocking force, wrestling away his baton. What followed was a sudden burst of violence, the kind that only lasts a few seconds but leaves permanent consequences. The officer was struck again and again, unable to break free. The bodycam footage later reviewed in court captured the sense of desperation. A lone officer overwhelmed, fighting to stay conscious as the blows kept coming. And then, just as quickly, the fight changed direction. A second officer rushed to help. Peterson turned, still gripping the baton, and began advancing toward him with the same violent intensity. This wasn't a standoff. It was a charge, a full-speed rush from a man who had already injured one officer and showed no sign of stopping.
My ankle's broken, dude.
From just a few feet away, the second officer had seconds to make a decision no one ever wants to face. A baton in the wrong hands can be lethal, and in that moment, both officers were dangerously exposed. Backing up wasn't an option. Physical restraint was impossible, and trying a non-lethal tool again would have taken too long. The officer fired. The first rounds hit, but Peterson didn't fall. Witnesses said he kept coming, closing the distance even after being shot. More rounds followed until the threat finally stopped and the chaos fell quiet. What began as a routine disturbance call had turned into a life-or-death confrontation in the middle of a convenience store parking lot. Investigators who later reconstructed the scene described it as an encounter that escalated faster than any training scenario could prepare for. The district attorney ultimately ruled the shooting legally justified, the only option left in a moment where retreat and negotiation were no longer possible. But just because a shooting is justified doesn't make it any less tragic. Michael Bruce Peterson died at the scene. Toxicology reports later suggested he may have been under the influence of substances that distorted his perception and magnified his aggression. For the officers, the event carried a different kind of weight, the kind that lingers long after the crime scene tape is taken down. Both injured officers eventually recovered, but the memory of that day never fully leaves. The final moments captured on video show only seconds of violence, but behind them lies an entire chain of decisions, warnings, and attempts to stop the situation before it ever reached that point. That's the part most people never see. The silent calculations happening in real time, the rising panic as options disappear, and the sudden shift from trying to help someone to trying not to die. The shooting of Michael Bruce Peterson remains one of Salt Lake City's most intense and controversial police encounters. A moment where a routine call unraveled into a deadly rush of adrenaline, fear, and split-second judgment. And for everyone involved, those seconds will never be forgotten. Now let that chaos settle for a moment, because the next clip takes us somewhere far quieter, but certainly not less unsettling. And that video was recorded by a man named Jesus Vargas, a police officer working overnight patrol in Nayarit, Mexico. One night, while driving through the quiet streets with his partner, the two came across something deeply unsettling, something that made them doubt what they were seeing with their own eyes.
No manches, sí, mira lo que estamos viendo nosotros ahorita a las 3 de la mañana.
Inside the grounds of a closed school, what appeared to be two children were seen playing in the courtyard, before suddenly screaming and running off. What made the sight disturbing wasn't just the timing, long after the gates had been locked, but the appearance of the figures themselves. Cloaked in darkness, they looked more like silhouettes than real children. Even with flashing patrol lights illuminating the yard, their faces and clothing remained completely hidden. With no explanation for how they got inside, or how they vanished so quickly, the officers searched the entire perimeter. No footprints, no movement, no sign of the children at all. The next morning, they contacted the school. After a full walkthrough, staff confirmed that no one had stayed behind and all students had gone home the previous day. Still unsettled, the officers returned at night to check the area again.
Esta es la escuela. Ahorita le vamos a mostrar la puerta donde se miraron lo que se miró. No quiero decir qué es lo que se miró. Es esta. Esta es la puerta. Ya está una lona que no sé qué quiere decir. Vamos a bajar. Ay, cabrón, la chingue. Esa es el cancel. ¿Verdad? Esta es la escuela por dentro. Son los salones.
They patrolled the same courtyard, the same corners, the same gates, but everything was normal, silent, empty. There were no reports of missing children that night and no families searching for anyone. So the question remains, who or what did they see? For Jesus and his partner, the answer feels chillingly clear. They believe the figures may have been the spirits of children tied to the school, replaying whatever their final moments once were. And while those officers questioned what they saw, our next officer didn't have time to wonder. He was already stepping into a crisis spiraling far beyond control. On the afternoon of October 19, 2020, what began as a routine welfare check in the quiet town of Thornton, New Hampshire, unfolded into one of the most unsettling police encounters ever captured on body camera.
Ethan, stay in there! Ethan! Stay in there, Ethan!
Just hours earlier, Officer Matthew Yao had spoken with 37-year-old Ethan Freeman in the lobby of a local school. Freeman had reported chest pain and requested an ambulance.
Ethan, what's going on?
What's going on? I'm having a heart attack.
You're having a heart attack? What's going on, dude?
I'm having a heart attack.
Okay, what? Can you tell me what you're feeling?
Palpitations and I'm
All right.
feeling like I've got a lot of heart pain.
Okay.
Chest pain.
All right, just stay still for me, okay?
Yep.
He has a history of it in his family. He has no allergies.
Okay.
Yep.
All right,
He
listen.
may have some amphetamine.
Yep.
He's Hep C positive.
Okay. All right, Ethan, as you know, I wear a body camera, okay? Listen, I'm asking you, is there any needles on you right now I need to know about?
I just have this.
What is it? Okay. No needles this time? Okay.
Nothing.
All right. When's the last time that you used?
I used like 4 months ago.
Okay.
Though anxious and visibly worn down, he had been calm, polite, and cooperative. Nothing about that earlier interaction hinted at danger. Nothing suggested that before nightfall, the same man would be at the center of a deadly confrontation. Later that afternoon, a 911 call came from a homeowner on 4-wheel drive. Freeman was bleeding, highly distressed, and again asking for medical help. With no backup immediately available, Officer Yao responded alone, expecting another attempt to help a man in crisis. But as he approached the apartment door, the atmosphere shifted immediately. Using the same steady, familiar tone as before, he called out to Freeman, hoping to re-establish the earlier rapport. This time, however, the response was drastically different.
Police department. Ethan, it's Officer Yao. You okay? Ethan, what's going on? Ethan.
Fucking suicidal, dead.
Hey, what's...
There's feces everywhere. I need you to call the cops and paramedics to get me a fucking rescue team right now.
Ethan, it's Officer Yao from Thornton Police.
Yes, come in here and get me to the hospital.
What's going on?
I have a fucking asshole that's bleeding out like a chicken, and I have a goddamn fucking mouth that's full of feces, and I have a dick that's hard, that's not hard, that's fucking soft.
Do you have any weapons on you right now?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, what do you got?
My dick in my hand. You got a problem with that, bitch?
Hey, it's Officer Yao, dude. What's going on?
You're a cunt faggot.
Hey, you know me.
Suck my fucking dick.
Hey, you know me, dude. What's going on?
You're a cunt.
Hey, Ethan. Ethan, drop that.
Shouting erupted from inside the apartment, erratic, angry, and fragmented. As Officer Yao moved cautiously toward the doorway, he was met with a scene that set every alarm bell ringing.
Ethan? 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 Thornton 3, he is naked and threatening my life. Ethan! I am the police, you know me.
Woodstock 6, copy that.
I just saw you this morning, dude.
It doesn't matter, I'm coming out there to kill you.
Well, why am I going to bring the paramedics then?
Freeman stood naked, bleeding heavily, gripping a splintered piece of furniture like a weapon while hurling violent threats. The sudden volatility forced the officer to retreat, draw his service weapon, and call for backup, all while trying desperately to calm the situation from a safer distance. From inside, objects crashed, shattered, and another threat echoed every few seconds. Still alone, Officer Yao continued talking to him, trying to reach the same reasonable man he had met earlier. For a moment, it seemed possible. The shouting shifted, the tone wavered. But whatever control existed vanished in an instant.
Hey! I want to help you!
What? I don't care what you want.
I want to help you!
Cunt-faggot-ass fucking queer Asian bitch.
Ethan, come on!
What was the update?
Paramedics now.
I did call the paramedics.
That he is threatening
Yeah,
PD.
but they're not going to come over here if you're being like this.
And 10-5, I'll be
Ethan? Ethan!
Where is he?
Ethan, stay in there! Ethan!
3, I'm out.
Stay in there! Ethan! Ethan, stay back! Ethan, stay back! Stay back! Ethan, stay back! Ethan, stay back! Ethan! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Without warning, Freeman hurled himself through one of the apartment windows, exploding into the open air. Naked, blood-covered, and now entirely fixated on the officer. As he hit the ground, he shouted a final warning. "You're dead!" Then he began advancing. The Bodycam captured the terrifying progression second by second, the officer backing up as fast as the uneven ground allowed, issuing command after command to stay back, while Freeman pushed forward, ignoring every order. The distance between them closed rapidly. 10 feet, maybe less, far too close to draw a taser. No time for a baton, no room for error. Yao was already in retreat, and Freeman was still coming with unmistakable intent. Believing he was moments away from being overwhelmed, and fearing Freeman would seize his firearm, Officer Yao made a split-second decision. When Freeman charged within dangerously close range, the officer fired 2 rounds in rapid succession. Freeman collapsed immediately. Emergency responders arrived soon after, but the injuries were fatal. The encounter, from the first shouted threats to the final seconds of the charge, was preserved entirely on body camera. The homeowner who had called 911 witnessed the final moments firsthand. Investigators later reviewed the footage frame by frame, interviewed everyone involved, and pieced together how a welfare check spiraled into a deadly confrontation within minutes. In the aftermath, the video prompted difficult questions about mental health crises, police training, and the razor-thin margin officers face when responding alone. It highlighted a reality often overlooked. Calls for help can evolve into life-threatening situations in seconds, leaving officers with no support, no time, and no safe alternatives. What happened on 4-wheel drive remains a stark, haunting reminder of how quickly a moment of aid can turn into a fight for survival, and how body cameras capture not just the outcome, but the impossible decisions made in the moments before. And with that, we go from one officer, confronted by a man in crisis, into a call where the danger seems to hide in the walls themselves. After a long day at work, a woman pulled into her driveway and immediately felt something wasn't right. The lights inside her home were flickering on and off, and the closer she got, the more she realized something was terribly wrong. Her front door was wide open. She lived alone, no car in the driveway, no reason for anyone to be inside. Terrified someone had broken in, she stayed in her car and called the police, hoping whatever was inside wouldn't come outside.
Police, if anyone's here, make yourself known. Police.
When two officers arrived and stepped into the darkened house, they quickly realized this wasn't going to be a normal call. As they began clearing each room, a sudden, violent sound broke the silence. A closet door slammed shut on its own, with no one near it. Startled but committed to finishing their sweep, they pressed deeper.
Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known.
Moments later, another door creaked open by itself, as if inviting or warning the officer to follow. And then, it happened again. Viewers later pointed out that at the same time, the officer's body camera began glitching, brief distortions that some believe are signs of something unseen interfering with the device.
Downstairs, clear. Upstairs clear? Yeah, we're good.
Just as he was about to wrap up and confirm the house was empty, something sent a jolt of fear straight through him. Footsteps, fast, heavy, running directly toward him. He spun around in pure reflex, but there was no one there. The house was empty, completely empty. To this day, viewers argue about what really happened inside that home. Some believe it was a presence revealing itself. Others think it was a warning, a spirit urging the officer to leave. Whatever the explanation, one thing is clear. This is not something easily explained. Now let that house settle in your mind for a moment. Because our next call doesn't hide shadows. It hides a body inside a semi-truck.
Get out of the truck now! There's a body in here! Start EMS!
It started just after 2 a.m. outside a Costco distribution center in rural Maryland. The kind of place where silence hangs thick and headlights glow alone in the dark. Deputies were sent there for something routine, something simple, a welfare check on a truck driver who'd shattered his own window and was acting strangely. Nothing about the call suggested danger. Not yet. But the moment officers stepped up to the cab of that semi-truck, they could feel it in their gut. That quiet shift in the air that every cop eventually learns to trust.
What's going on, big man? How you doing? We're not coming in there. You alright? I'm Corporal A-Hold. How are you today? You're having a bad day? It's all good. We all have them. So listen to me. Here's what we need to do. They got to run their business, right? We don't want to lock you up. We just want to make sure you're okay. We're not taking you to jail. None of that stuff. So do me a favor. Could you just let us know for our safety that you don't have anything in that other hand over there? Can you show me? Just so we feel safe, please. Is there somebody in there with you? Huh? You don't have any guns, right? Okay. So can you just let me see in that hand? Please? Do you have a knife? No. Yeah, it's clear. So you're clear. So let me ask you something. Are you having a medical emergency right now? You want me to call you an ambulance here? You don't? But you need to do me a favor. Will you cut your truck off for me? We're not arresting you, I promise. But can you cut your truck off? Because I don't want it to roll anywhere. I don't want it to hurt anybody. If you pass out and it rolls... Well, no one's saying you get knocked out. Calm down. Hey, come on. Please, don't do that. Let off that. Put the truck off. Put the truck in park. We got guys back there. I don't want you to run over one of our guys.
The driver, a middle-aged man slumped behind the wheel, was disoriented, sweating, and refusing every request to step out or even cut the engine. He wasn't violent at first, just evasive, lost inside whatever haze he was fighting. But beneath the rambling and the confusion, there was an unmistakable tension. Officers tried everything they could to ground him, to bring him back to reality, to end the encounter before it escalated. But instead, the situation spiraled. He refused to get out of the vehicle, tore through equipment, and kept maneuvering that massive truck in ways that put everyone nearby in danger.
It'd be nice if we could just work something out. We're just putting stuff down. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just cut the truck off. Don't do that. Well, now you got a whole bunch of flat tires. Okay, well don't do that. We don't want you to do that. You're just making this a completely dangerous situation. We're telling you to cut the truck off. Come out and talk. Yes. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about why you just drove over and flattened all the tires on your truck. Listen, they have another stop stick. Put that set in there. I'll put it in off on. Hey. Let me get in there.
All his tires are pretty much hit with them, so it's just a matter of time until he runs out.
There ain't nowhere for him to go. Unless he goes across the median.
You think he's on PCP?
Mm-hmm, PCP. His SIG's in there laying everywhere. That or meth. It's one of the ones. One or the other. Yep. Well, his front tires are full.
Dang. I thought he could run.
This is going to get dangerous, dude. We're just going to have to stop it. Terry! Can I talk to you for a second? Look, there's a lot of innocent people around here. We don't want anyone to get hurt, especially not you. Just talk to me for a second, okay? We're not doing nothing. Please don't move. We're not. Please, Terry!
What do we even do with this?
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, somebody's gonna have to make a decision and put an end to it. Hey, I can't get the door open. We can bust the window and take and do it. It's about the only thing we can do.
Yeah, I'm just worried because it's still open.
Right. Hey, do we have any more stop sticks to get the fronts? Anybody else got stop sticks? Somebody. You pull your whole front end up, bud. We just want you to cut the truck off. Hey, back up, dude. Calm down, Terry. Calm down. Hey, something. Is your medication. Who said that? Do you have diabetes? Who said that? I said. What are you reaching for? Okay, all right. No, I'm good. I have my own water. Well, your truck's leaking fluids everywhere. It's leaking. No, stop. Don't do that. Hey, that'll get you locked up, bud. We're not trying to do that. All you have to do is cut the truck off, bud. I will feed you. I will get you cleaned up, clothes, whatever you need.
And you got a good hit front right, bud. All right.
Hey! Stop! Because you're tearing up! Stop! It doesn't matter, look at you're tearing up! We're gonna have to arrest you if you don't stop! Cut the truck off and get out of the truck! It's over!
Deputies recognized what they were dealing with. A man who was rapidly losing control, mentally and physically. And with a vehicle that size, one wrong movement could mean disaster. So they worked to contain the area, flatten the remaining tires, and prepare for the moment when he finally had nowhere left to go.
Stop! Stop!
Hey, you're gonna hurt someone, man. You're hurt someone.
Stop! All over now, bud. Stop. Terry, stop. They're gonna put a smoke bomb in there. I'm telling you, they're gonna spray you, and it's gonna burn. Get out of there. Walk is over. Get out of the truck. Cut it off. I'm telling you, it's about to be a bad day. Cut it off, please. I told you bad stuff's about to happen if you don't cut the truck off. Cut it off. Mr. Terry, please cut it off. Watch out! Stop the truck now! Stop the truck and cut it off! Cut it off! You're gonna get it again! Stop! Now, you got the whole can. He's good. Go. He's good. Go ahead. Stop the truck, Terry! Help this now! We can't help! Watch out! Watch out!
We're trying to help you. You just gotta stop.
When the truck slowed, officers moved to end the standoff, using tactics meant to stop him before he hurt anyone else. But what they found inside the cab was something no one was prepared for.
Get out of the truck! Taser! 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 Get out of the truck! Stop! Cut the truck off!
A-Hook, get out! A-Hook, get out!
Cut the truck! Stop the truck! Stop! Hey! There's a dead body in here! Get out of the truck! Get out of the truck now! There's a body in here! Start EMS!
A body, motionless, hidden in the darkness of the sleeper cabin. A woman, unresponsive and already far beyond help. The discovery hit officers like a punch to the chest, a sickening realization that the entire encounter had been something far darker than a welfare check. The frantic tone of their voices changed instantly, not out of panic, but out of certainty. They knew exactly what they were looking at. A life that had ended violently, long before they ever arrived.
What's up there? There's a body in here! Start EMS!
You got it! Calm down! They're coming in.
You need an additional
Ma'am, are you okay? Ma'am! Ma'am, are you okay? Let's get her out.
Ma'am!
Guys,
Ma'am!
She's stuck.
get him off. Get him in the recovery.
She's priority 4. She's
She's P4, buddy. P4.
She's rigor mortis. She's dead.
She's dead. Who's these suspects?
Let's get him away from the door so they can do it.
Oh, God.
Put on his ass. Put on his ass. One. Multiple stab wounds. You need to
sit down on the curb.
Sit down now. Sit down. Sit down.
Sit here, sit.
Sit down. All right. Sit down. Don't move.
You good?
Yeah.
You need a sanitizer?
Yeah, you got any?
Yeah.
I just got cuts on my hands, but I'm good.
Have a noise look at you.
Huh?
Have a noise look at you.
Please help me.
What hurts on you?
Yep, they're gonna hurt a little bit.
Once the scene was secure, the driver, 46-year-old Matthew Sidney Watley, was taken into custody while emergency responders confirmed the grim truth. The victim was also 46, a woman named Candace Thompson, Watley's domestic partner. Their relationship had a long documented history of violence, and the evidence in that cab made it painfully clear how the night had ended. Investigators recovered weapons, noted significant injuries, and pieced together the final moments of a woman who never made it out of that truck alive. Watley would later plead guilty to second-degree murder and receive the maximum sentence, 40 years behind bars. But for the deputies on scene, the story didn't end with the arrest. Because this is the part of policing the public rarely sees, the moment when a simple call flips into something life-altering. 1 second you're trying to help someone who looks lost, and the next you're standing face-to-face with the aftermath of a killing. These are the calls that stay with officers forever, the ones that replay in your mind when the uniform comes off, when the shift ends, when you try to sleep. You hold the perimeter, you finish your paperwork, and you move on to the next case. But the memory of what you saw never really leaves. What happened inside that truck was tragic, but what's even more haunting is how easily it could have been missed. How a quiet parking lot, a broken window, and a confused man behind the wheel concealed a horror no one expected. And it's a reminder that in the world of policing, the first glance rarely tells the full story. And sometimes, the truth waiting behind a closed door is darker than anyone can imagine. Now our next officer finds himself facing a different kind of terror. A figure appearing where no one should be. This footage was captured by an officer responding to a reported break-in at a newly built home. When he arrived, he quickly realized the homeowners were away, leaving the property quiet and undisturbed. After checking the interior multiple times, he was confident no one else was inside. Yet something about the place felt wrong. A subtle heaviness in the air, a feeling he couldn't quite explain.
At least I know I'm not crazy. Because there's definitely somebody standing right there. And now they're gone. Tell me how nuts. And now they're back. You see it? Tell me I'm fucking crazy. That's the creepiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely not.
But the moment he returned to his patrol car, that uneasy instinct finally made sense. What he saw in the window left him frozen. A figure watching from inside the house he had just searched top to bottom. A face that seemed to appear only when his back was turned. Was it just a trick of the light? An illusion created by shadows in an empty home? Or was someone inside, hiding just well enough to slip past a trained officer? Some believe it looks like a ghost. Others insist it had to be a person who knew exactly how to stay unseen. The truth is, we may never know. Whatever watched from that house remains a mystery. But our final clip leaves no doubt. This time, the threat is real, violent, and hiding in the trees. It all began with a single 911 call on a cold December morning. A frantic man, voice shaking, reports that his best friend is dead. A lone officer is dispatched to the scene, heading deep into the isolated stretches of Lake Jackson Forest. What he doesn't know yet is that this isn't just another welfare check or recovery call. He's walking straight into the aftermath of a violent act, one far more chilling than anything he expects. The perpetrator isn't gone. He's still somewhere out there, hidden in the trees, waiting to be found.
389, I'm 1012 with him. Just give me a minute. I'm 1012 with 2. I'm heading down to take a look. 361, if you want to come down, and 56 with EMS in the back. I'm headed down to the scene. We're going to go back that way about 50 yards. Okay. 50 yards. My watch over the bridge. Yeah. Knife was laying on the ground. There's no blood on it. Did you touch the knife? I did pick up the knife. Okay. Well, we're gonna need to get fingerprints from you. Okay. No problem. I walked by the tarp, and you couldn't see James. Okay. And then Alan walked by the tarp and goes, "What's that?" And he picked the tarp up with his stickies on his hand, and James was laying there face down. And I dropped the knife and we left. Okay. All right. So we're gonna need to get a very detailed statement from you. Okay. Yes, sir. Just because. I understand. Well, the thing is, I'm not accusing you of anything, but you have to be ruled out. You see what I'm saying? 100%. You just hang on down right here for me, okay? Let me get up there and take a look. Which one? Right here, please. Oh, shit. Okay. And then, can you please look in that back tent, please? All right. Where's the knife? The knife is on the left-hand side of him. Okay. There on the ground. He's got a white belt. Okay, just hang out there for me, okay? Yeah.
Wrapped in a tarp, the body of James Layden Decker is discovered, naked, lying face down in a pool of blood, his skin marked with deep cuts and brutal bruising. The sight hits Officer Azur immediately. This is no accident, no natural death. He quickly instructs Jamie to return to safety while he continues forward, senses sharpened. As he scans the area, the forest breaks its silence. Strange, distant noises echo from the tree line, soft at first, then sharp enough to set every nerve on edge. Whatever happened here might not be over.
I'm not sure if it's a person or I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. Sounds like it's heading this way. Hey, LT.
Backup arrives just in time, but the scene only becomes more disturbing. As officers expand their search, they uncover details that shift the investigation from tragic to horrific.
All right, we've got knife right here, body here, tents, whole camp spread up back here. We've also got one outstanding.
What the hell are you talking about?
There's 2 people who live in this camp.
And one's not here?
And one's outstanding at the moment.
Did you find the knife?
Yeah.
I got a knife right here.
No blood on it,
Well, there's something right there, but hey, did you still got those 2 guys 1012 up front?
Yeah, they're standing there waiting for us.
Good, because one that led me back touched the knife, so we need to get his prints and a statement off him. The other one touched the tarp. They found out what was going on and they took off. I've checked the camp and he's the only one back here.
Well, I got the name of the person that he was arguing with at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so, and I've got what looks like maybe his clothes right over there. So he's naked and there's some clothes right there on the fire. It looks like, I mean, he was moved post-mortem. You can tell by the way he was dressed.
Oh, he's got his fucking leaf in his ass crack.
Yeah. That's hollow down below, you see that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Almost looks like they're carving Odin. Missing the one eye. You see that?
Fucking nuts.
Artistic.
Smell gas.
Smell gas?
Oh, they had to cut that with a chainsaw, right? And it looks like...
You smell gas right here.
Yeah.
Not far from the body, they locate a makeshift homeless encampment filled with scattered belongings, a large knife, and bloodstains. Signs of a violent struggle are everywhere. It's clear the victim wasn't just killed, he was brutally tortured. The deeper investigators push into the camp, the more sinister the crime becomes. Witnesses soon provide a name: Dusty McDonald. They claim he had been roaming the camp with a machete, angrily searching for James in the hours before his death. With that information, officers
You know I'm an owl, right?
You're what?
You know I'm an owl, right?
Okay.
You know what that means, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Golly.
Thank you. This
I'll
has been
be doing that.
this has been a really hard day. Sir, I waived all rights a long time ago. You know, I still have a great sense of innocence within me, if it ain't obvious to you this time.
Currently.
I was brushing, and then he throws that gasoline on me, because you saw how I was rolled up and down there. Dude, I thought I was just doing it for the other. You know what I mean? Because that was my intention. Everybody knows this. And then managed to hit that Neo UI and come out like that. I don't know how I do it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm just experimenting in the house with blades, like before back when I took the butcher knives and threw it in curved on it. But, I mean, shit, I don't know how I do it, sir. I just know with my beautiful mind that it's a three-way. Yeah. You know, it's the photographic, the audiogenic intake, and then the loving kinetic.
Yeah.
You know, if y'all don't ever think I'm so amazed that I'm just like, oh, God.
In the interrogation room, Dusty's behavior spirals quickly. His statements jump from one bizarre claim to another. He insists James tried to set him on fire, a detail no evidence supports, before rambling about being an owl, convinced unseen forces are watching him. His paranoia intensifies by the minute, revealing a mind slipping out of reality. Still, investigators stay focused, pressing through the chaos to uncover the truth.
Will I be able to go home?
I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah, because am I going to jail or we're going down to dance?
We're going to have to figure that kind of out, because you know how this thing kind of goes from here.
I guess.
I'm going to come talk to you about it in just a little bit, okay?
Despite his disjointed story, the evidence begins locking him into place. Witnesses place him with the victim. His violent threats are well documented, and the physical clues at the scene leave little room for doubt. Dusty McDonald is now the prime suspect in the murder of James Layden Decker. Forensic analysis confirms the brutality of what happened. James suffered severe trauma, broken ribs, shattered teeth, extensive bruising. Even more chilling is the discovery of gasoline in his system, suggesting this wasn't just murder. It was deliberate, cruel, and calculated. With Dusty officially charged with first-degree murder, the investigation takes its final, grim turn. The forest may be quiet again, but for those who walked through the aftermath, the memory of Lake Jackson will never fade. A hidden camp, a deadly confrontation, and a suspect who always seemed to be lurking just out of reach. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, click to see more on the video on screen.